Bilge keels. Okay, you know the purpose of bilge keel, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
very good. So it reduces the rolling. It gives you some longitudinal strength because it goes in four and a half direction. And the third one is it gives some protection in case of grounding. Okay, some protection, because if the grounding is here, then it will sacrifice itself but prevent the damage to the hull. But there are limitations. Earlier days, you had these bilge keels which were used on sailing ships, and today they are used on fishing trawlers and sailing boats and pleasure yachts and all. They are little different design. Okay, they are meant to take the load of the boat, because these boats are run aground on purpose. That means high water, I come on top and I allow water to recede during low water. Now I am stranded on the land. So that time I don't want hull to take pressure. So these are specifically designed, those bilge keels, to take the load and keep the boat in safe condition. Now that is for small boats. That is for small boats. We inherited it. See, sailing ship days, the wooden ships and all, they used to ground them in ports. You know what used to happen? High water, they used to reach the port, berth. Low water, water used to recede. The boat landed on the mud. So you did not want damages. That is why these bilge keels were very important those days. When it comes to modern ships, steel ships, we realize what happens is, yeah, it will reduce the rolling. Does it really add cost? No. It will give me some protection longitudinally, strength, fine, and some protection in case of grounding. Does it cost much? No, not really, because I am already spending hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's not much. So we got them and we kept them. Now let us move to this diagram. If you really look carefully, if ship has to touch anything from sides, this is not coming in picture at all. It is behind that. If ship is touching bottom, it is above this. Get it? Got it or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so the purpose has changed between, because in case you do reading, especially on internet, see a lot of discussions are about small boats. So you may start mixing up two things. That is the reason I wanted to explain you very carefully that our ships, the big ships, it is like this. On a smaller one, okay, where we say that pleasure yachts and all, the fishing vessels and so on, this is big like this. So that if it has to touch bottom, this will touch first. Sideways, yes, it will protect. That means it can sacrifice and can save you in grounding. It gives little strength, that is okay, and it also bears the load of the boat in case you are on a dry land. Okay, like this. Understood it? Right. Did you understand this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. I like to hear that you all are awake. Okay. Of course, if you want something more advanced stuff, when it is fixed up on these ships, okay, when it's fixed up on these ships, some calculations are done to make sure this is not stronger than this, so that it can sacrifice, otherwise it will hold itself and it will allow damage to the hull. So that is something advanced naval architecture. Double bottom tanks. Okay, what are double bottom tanks? There is a keel, the keel plating is there, then there is a framing. Now, if you try to load there, the risk is too much, because in case of any grounding, any damage happens, your cargo will be damaged completely by water. Then you want a strong surface to keep the cargo, and obviously you want a flat, like nice floor, not with all obstacles and all like frames. So we have got another deck created, like shell, like we have got a keel plating, and then we have got a hold plating. Hold plating forms the top layer, we call it tank top layer of the double bottom tank. Keel plating, side shell plating, and if you have got separation in the middle, longitudinal. So double bottom becomes a tank, and it is watertight tank, because again there is a division of the ship longitudinally, so that in case there is a damage, only there will be part flooding in double bottom, but cargo will be safe and ship will not sink, because it is like restricting progressive flooding. Means थोड़ा डैमेज हो गया ठीक है, उतना डैमेज हो गया ना ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम, water has come in there, fine, but ship is not sinking, cargo is not damaged. So like accidents happen, so this is one of those accidents. Now, since we have got these two bottoms, what is the purpose of double bottom? It gives the strength, longitudinal as well as transverse strength to the ship by forming a strong backbone or strong bottom. Next is, it provides you flat surface for loading of the cargo. Next one, it has got framing, and the tanks are used for ballast water or fresh water. There is no oil permitted, no cargo permitted in double bottom tanks. Then it provides us protection in case of grounding. In case of grounding and flooding of double bottom, cargo on tank top is safe. Okay, like this you have to give the points, because this is one of the common questions which keeps on coming. What is the purpose of double bottom? What are the advantages of double bottom, etc., etc.? Now, double bottom is compulsory, okay, on all the ships, because it is part of reserve buoyancy. Now, once upon a time you had single bottom ships. Today practically they don't exist. Okay, you don't have single bottom ships anymore. We had. Now don't mix up. Double hull is something else. Double hull means all the three sides and bottom has got inner hull and outer hull. Double bottom tank means only the bottom has got inner like tank top and the keel plating, but sides no, sides are like a single hull. You got the difference? Did you get it? Understood? Nobody is in the class.
Yes, sir.
You understood what I
Yes,
said?
sir.
The difference between double hull and a double bottom. Like in this diagram, double hull will not be like this corner. Double hull will have straight plating, it's going on like this, and there will be a tank on the side also. Side, bottom, they are tanks. Now, double bottom tank, this is a typical drawing. Two girders, because if it is solid floor, means it's floor, it is solid steel, and holes are cut to reduce weight. This is a tank top, then there is a framing system inside. This is all part of framing systems. And then you can't be putting only the floors everywhere because the weight will increase. So you also have got simple framing system, and intermittently you have got the solid floors. Idea is to keep the weight of the ship to minimum and maintain the strength. Again, we will repeat advantages of double bottom in ships. Provides protection to hull in case of grounding. Provides longitudinal strength. Can be used as tanks to carry ballast and fresh water. Helps to prevent pollution in case of liquid cargoes. That is because it creates a space between the cargo and the sea. Maintain stability of a ship. Now this is one part you should mention in answer, but maintaining stability is on ballast passage. When I take the ballast in double bottom tanks, I make bottom heavy. Bottom heavy gives me stability, better stability. Then the tank top acts as a platform for machinery or cargo, whatever it is. Got this much
Yes, sir.
understood? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Because I had to go like this only. Next is, now what happens is we have got a bottom cleared up, correct? To protect the ship in case of accident from bottom. Very good. What happens if I bank straight? So two ends of the ship, you have got peak tanks. Peak tanks is two ends, the forward end and aft end. You all have drawn it so you know where is the fore peak and where is the after peak. Now one more thing about double bottoms, okay? On some ships where we carry timber on deck, logs, wooden logs or lumber on deck, it is possible that ship may get a negative stability because of absorption of water by the wood on deck during bad weather, rains and all. In that case, what we do, the ship gets suddenly listed and all like this. There are some more advanced problems. We fill up water in double bottom tank, ballast water, to make ship heavy at the bottom so that we get the positive stability again. If you remember this very good, and that is in case of stability issues, you can bring the ship to have positive stability by filling up double bottom tanks. Okay. Now peak tanks, two ends, forward and aft end. Forward end, the forepeak tank is forward of collision bulkhead. So that in case there is a collision, forepeak will get flooded, but not number one hole. Because number one hole you fill up, then the ship will start going down like this. So forward damages, it's like car's bumper. Bumper is damaged, engine is not damaged. Same way. So forepeak tank does it. Now what happens is, earlier days, we used to be taking ballast in them all the time, including container ships. Now, what happens is after about 10 years, if tanks are not well protected, by 12 years maybe, you realize there is a lot of corrosion, and there are many reasons for that. There are a lot of stresses in forepeak tank, and the metal is eaten away by corrosion. If the 10% metal is eaten away, you have to replace the plates. So, okay, you can repair it, but it adds up the cost. So you may end up spending maybe $500,000, $1 million to replace the plating there. So container ships these days try to keep it as a void space so that they know in long run they are saving the money because the tank remains in fantastic condition. It's a void space. There is no corrosion. However, it depends on the skills of loading. Okay, because container ships are always full, so guy has to have a good skill to load and make sure that you don't need this tank. Or else what happens is my ship, my planning was to finish like this. Now what happened? It has come like this. She's trimmed by stern. The aft draft is more than forward draft. And now what happens is when we are doing calculations, we have got calculators, 10 places of decimal, everything fantastic. But that is theoretical mathematical calculation with certain assumptions on accuracy of the loads. Now it happens. Sometimes I tell you, okay, I put 5,000 tons, but actually I put maybe 4,800. 200 tons makes difference when you talk about centimeters and millimeters. So what is the best solution? I want to correct it. Now if I take excessive water ballast, I will lose cargo capacity. So I have got small amount kept in reserve. So where is it most effective? End. Now you remember the fulcrum, seesaw, extreme end. Like sometimes you put a child here and you sit here, not at this end, so that you balance the two levers. No, so that is the same principle when we take ballast in 4-peak tank. Just to correct the trim with the minimum amount of water, you can maximize the effect. After peak tank is identical, but it is half. It doesn't take so much of strain, but it can help in cooling the propeller shaft. It can be used for fresh water or on bulk carriers and all. If the ship becomes like this, then you can fill up something here and make it straight. So those are the 4-peak and after peak tanks. Now we still have time. Wing tanks. Now see, you have seen upper side tank, upper ballast tanks, lower ballast tanks, right? Bulk carriers. Wing tanks are the ones which go straight to the bottom, from main deck to the double bottom. Means they form the hull, secondary hull, like inner hull and outer hull. So they go straight. Now what happens is if ship is like this or like this, sideways, like this or like this. What is the best way? From the center line, the furthest away you put the load, it will have maximum impact. So wing tanks are on the sides. In case all the tanks have got framing inside, so that you can present the smooth side for cargo purposes, basically for cargo purposes. And ship side, of course, has to be smooth, otherwise there will be too much of resistance. So they all have got framing inside. Wing tank from main deck to the double bottom, you can have straight. On some ships, it may be divided in the middle and called upper wing tank, lower wing tank. But they are used to correct list or heel. Heel means by external force, when I move, that is heel. Moment I remove the force, it should come back straight. That is the word heel. List is because of uneven distribution of weight. Now container ships while loading face this problem, so they have got automatic arrangement. What happens is I have got two tanks, okay, port and starboard. I fill up only 50% water in one. Means 50% in one, 50% in second one. So maximum can be one side full will be 100%, other side will be empty. And this water keeps on going from here to port to starboard, starboard to port based on the situation during loading. And with a very good pump which does the job quickly to maintain ship like this within limits. So that ship will become little bit, it will not hamper cargo loading operation. So it is basically there you have got. And car carriers also have it. But normally we take care of loading and discharging. We plan it well so that we don't end up in this problem. Now, anti-rolling tanks. It is same way. You can use a very powerful pump and keep on dampening it, or else there are other methods to dampen the rolling using the wing tanks. Forepeak after peak to correct trim, wing tanks to correct the list. Now, tanks, when you add weight, you have to check where is the center of gravity, so that what is the impact on the ship's center of gravity when you add the weights around. And ballast is what we you need ballast to sink propeller. Means you have to sink the ship, otherwise ship will not be controllable, not manageable. So we use the ballast. Now bilges. Bilges is something mixed up very often. We have seen bilge keel. We have seen bilge strake. There is a tiny connection somewhere, but what is like when we say bilging means there is a hole in ship side and water has flooded in. This is also term used, so don't get mixed up with the word bilge. Then we have seen the bilge strike, and when we use bilge also means the lowest part of the inner hull. Now earlier days ships were like this. This used to be the keel, okay, this used to be the keel and the plates were at angle, and ships were wooden. So they used to get some leakages, then the bad weather, something, because they couldn't make weather tight like what you can do today. So water is to leak inside. Now what happens is you have to get rid of that water, otherwise weight will increase and over a period you will sink. So you need to take out. So they used to use the pump. But how good is the pump if it doesn't have enough water to pump it out? So you have to drain water in one place. And that is where you have got a pump suction. So pump takes the suction from there and throws it out. So earlier days ships had a natural, that's why all the old drawings you see, the ship's hull is shown like this and the keel in the middle. And water will drain and collect here. And that was pumped out by using hand pumps. Over a period now we have got electric pumps, automatic pumps, and so on. Today when we say bilge well means it is a part of a double bottom tank, means you cut a hole in tank top and create a bucket, maybe rectangular shape, but we create a bucket inside double bottom tank, and the top of that bucket is in level with tank top. Okay, this, see, this is the tank top. So I cut a hole on top and I create a bucket here. Means in simple words, I have made a bucket there. So if anything is filled up here, water is not going to leak here. If double bottom tank is full, doesn't mean water is going to leak in this bucket. No, it's a bucket like tank we create, bilge well. We call it well, WELL, well. So whatever the water, any dirty thing, anything, it drains down in this. And here we have got an arrangement to pump out. The pump suctions are inside. So we can use the pump and we can pump it out. Clear?
Sir, what about pumping, sir? Explain.
Pumping is done via a pipeline. A pipeline is extended here. Like a pipeline will come from engine room to here.
Sir,
And
I'm asking the requirement of pumping.
requirement means what? Why do we
Means
need to
for
pump
what
it?
you
Huh? See, there is a leak somewhere, water is collecting. You don't want water there because if water gets flooded, the cargo will get damaged. Hmm? So,
Yes, sir.
we need to pump it out. So, there is a pump suction there. There is a full arrangement which you will do. There is a suction which is called bell mouth. Then there is a non-return valve. So, by mistake, water cannot come from engine room to bilges. There are two arrangements which block it. Ships don't have leaks from the hull, okay, but it's possible that hatch cover may be leaking in very bad weather, or there can be perspiration, means what we say sweating of the hull, condensation. The and that water can be fair amount because you are looking at a huge thing. You are looking at a hollow building that is one hold. A big, say 7-story building, and with at least 5 or 6 flats per floor. That is what is the volume you are looking at in the hold of a ship. So, if anything is there, it has to be drained in it. So that's why we have created a small well, like I told you, bucket, so that you'll understand better, and we call it well. Now here I'll show you the parts. Now this is how it is. Okay, this is a view from top. Okay, you're looking down, you're looking into it, the bird's eye view. This is the bucket like thing that is called well. This is a suction pipe. Water will collect here. It will be sucked from this pipe and it will go to engine room for pumping out. Got it? Understood it? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, keep it simple. We don't want that water there. So, water may come there. So, we have something to drain it. It drains there. So we see the level and we pump it out. So every day we keep on checking. Now, okay, modern ships have got alarms built in. So moment there is the presence of water at some level, alarm will sound or light will come, flashing light, or there is water there. So you can investigate why the water has come there. What is the logical reason? Is there any reason why water should be there? Is it possible that ship has got some hole on the side? So you can investigate. But every day when we say soundings and all, now you will hear it. We will be coming to that chapter. Soundings are taken means we check the level of water in bilge wells. The most important, because that is the only way you will know if the hold is getting flooded or no. Okay, normally it is not going to happen, but any small leakages, anything, but there is a leakage. Got it? Yes, sir. No, sir.